Okay, so I haven't done one of these in a while, but I figured I should. And since there aren't any new shows that I really care enough about to do a review on yet, I'm going to do something Halloween inspired. Kinda, sorta. It's a pet peeve of mine that has gone on since I've read this book, so it's a book review-ish. Book review / rant. And the book is Dracula. And, so, this is my beef. A lot of people say they know the story of Dracula because they watched a movie or some other form of adaptation. And it always bugs me because in most adaptations, they change so much. And you miss the point of the story that the book gives you. I mean, it's really, a lot of movies you kind of get the same feel from watching the movie and reading the book or the comic series or whatever. You know, more, the basic idea is there. But with the Dracula movies, they really don't do that. One thing that they always seem to do is, first, they combine characters. And I'm not talking like one or two. I'm talking like minor characters. No. Main characters. They combine Mina and Lucy. Sometimes they switch Mina and Lucy for no apparent reason. Like, no reason whatsoever, other than, I think Lucy's better here. Yeah, let's do that. They either omit Lucy's 3 suitors completely into just Dr. Stewart, who she didn't marry. And usually, sometimes they even increase the age of Dr. Stewart so that he is the parent of someone else. And then, I'm trying to think of now. Oh yeah. And there is the problem of they don't really follow the main idea of the books with Dracula. They don't. Now I want to say one thing I really want to commend Bram Stoker on, and that is how he writes this book. It's really good. It's got different point of view, which I love. I'm currently reading the Song of Ice and Fire series, and he switches. Each chapter is a different point of view, and I like the way that's done. I don't like it when it's not done nicely, which is what happened in A Perfect Storm. And that book almost made it so I failed English that year. But what he does in this book is it's comprised of journal entries, letters, newspaper clippings, and things like that. And they're all, usually they're dated. And, yeah, they're dated. And what was really good about this book for when it was made was he wrote it present day. So during that time, this was like kind of like War of the Worlds. He wrote things, that were present in the world, that were, places everyone had seen, everyone knew about. The characters were very, normal English folk, and one American. And when people read this, some would think, get that, like, did this kind of happen sort of feel to it. And that was what made it even creepier, you know? Was the fact that, you know, you were kind of, like, iffy on it. It kind of kept you up at night and scared you. The other thing that they did well was they made the Count more of a figure to be feared. He doesn't have a lot of lines or screen times, and a lot of what, or scenes, and a lot of what is really terrifying is the mental problems, the mental, oh god, my brain just farted. The mental labors, it affected them. Jonathan Harker had to go into an asylum kind of place because of dealing with the Count. Renfield was insane, and everyone kind of gets, like, paranoid as the story goes on, and it's great in that, you know, the human mind sort of aspect of it all. But so this book is good. It's got a good amount of characters, and, you know, you can like them. It's not a book where you can't like someone. It's good in that. And for me, and the fact that I am fucking ADD with books, the fact that it keeps changing points of view and things like that, that I can focus on it better. Again, why I like A Song of Fire and Ice is that, you know, I finished Catelyn chapter, I got a Tyrion chapter, so it's like I'm not dealing with Catelyn anymore. I'm on Tyrion. And once I'm done with Tyrion, I got Arya. And once I'm done with Arya, I got someone else. And, you know, it's good in that way. But, what was I going to say? But the biggest issue I have with the adaptations of Dracula, particularly the ones that people seem to know about the most, is that they play Dracula up as a romantic character, and in one instance, a tragic character. And he is, he is not. The only part where you feel a little bit bad for him is at the end, where, you know, he's dying. He's at the end, and, you know, fuck, you guys all know I do spoilers. They kill him, and, you know, they see a human face on him for the first time. And, you know, he looks in pain and sorrowful and happy and all at the same time because he's finally dead. You know, like, he himself wants to be dead deep down inside. And it was, you know, the sympathy you had for this person because, you know, he was a monster, but at one point he was human. And that was that was it. That was the only human moment you got for him. Everything else? Fucking psychopath. Monster. His goal throughout this book is that he wants to somehow take over England. He hasn't really worked out the details. I think his idea was that he establishes himself there, grows his power, starts getting more minions and such, and then, you know, takes it over. Overthrows it. It's his. But then he has these people who are like, no, we're not letting you do this. And they start fucking up his plans. Granted, he ruined it first by snacking on one of their friends. But he then goes and he attacks Mina, who is the heart of the group. She's the one who keeps them all together and positive, and, you know, she does what she can. And he goes and he makes her one of him as a demoralizing effect, as a strategical effect, all these things. But it is not out of love. It is not out of attachment or that he wants her in that way. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who it was. She was just the easiest one to get to, and the one he knew would harm them the most. That's it. But the adaptations, and particularly the one starring Gary Oldman, will make you think that it's a romantic scene. It's not. Oh my god, it's one of the more terrifying scenes of this book. And I got right here. Read the scene. Okay, so, alright. Where is it? Okay, and this is Dr. Stewart's diary, and he has just gone into John and Mina Harker's room at his asylum, as they are, you know, strategizing and they're checking up on them. And it says, "What I saw appalled me. I felt my hair rise like bristles on the back of my neck, and my heart seemed to stand still. The moonlight was so bright that through the thick yellow blind the room was light enough to see. On the bed beside the window lay Jonathan Harker, his face flushed and breathing heavily, as though in a stupor." Now, what we find out later is that Dracula had his hand on his neck, hold him to the ground, and threatened Mina, saying that if she did anything, he would crush his brains out. It literally says this. Okay? Right here. Right here. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. "If you make a sound, I shall take him and dash his brains out before your very eyes." Okay? Mina does not want this. Alright, kneeling on the edge of the bed, facing outwards, was a white-clad figure of his wife. By her stood a tall, thin man, clad in black. His face was turned from us, but the instant we saw him, we all recognized the Count. In every way, even to the scar on his forehead. With his left hand, he held both Miss Harker's hands, keeping them away from her arms at full tension. His right hand gripped her by the back of the neck, forcing her face down his bosom. Her white nightdress was smeared with blood, and a thin stream trickled down the man's bare breast, which was shown by his open dress. The attitude of these two had a terrible resemblance to a child forcing a kitten's nose into a saucer of milk to compel it to drink. He is forcing her to drink his blood so that she'll be a vampire, like him. So that he can listen in on their plans, so that he can control her, so that he can demoralize them. This is not a romantic scene. It is terrifying. He has essentially just blood raped her. Okay? So, it always pisses me off when I see adaptations where he has this romantic sub-story with the Mina character. Be her name Mina or Lucy or whatever. But when they do this, it's like they don't understand what this book was about. They add this unnecessary romance to make him seem better. He's not better. He's not a good person. And that's what's good about it. He is the villain. He is terrifying. He is scary. He's fucking nuts. So, if you have not yet read Bram Stoker's Dracula, I urge you to do so. This book, I think this is like under $10. I got this, okay? Pretty cheap, if you can find it. And it is worth the cash, and it is worth the read, and don't watch the crappy adaptations where there's romance in it, because it's not really there. It shouldn't be there. It just ruins it. Alright, I'm done.